Ford has unveiled plans to renovate Michigan Central Station in Detroit, which has stood abandoned and decaying for 3 decades. The company, one of America's big 3 automakers, bought the building, a Beaux Arts gem opened in 1913, to make it the centerpiece of a new urban high-tech campus. Bill Ford Jr., the great-grandson of the American carmaker's founder, stood in front of thousands Tuesday in Detroit, with the abandoned station in the background, and entwined the company's future with that of the dilapidated building behind him. "This station is a symbol," Ford declared. "We're making a big bet on our future." The once proud building has faded, but is poised for much the same renewal that Detroit residents and businesses hope will mark the Motor City's post-recession, post-bankruptcy renaissance. At an event, the Ford Motor Company unveiled its lofty plans, a space of 1.2 million square feet spanning several city blocks, where the company's employees, and those of partner firms and startups, will work on innovations such as autonomous driving and electrification. "Just as Detroit has had to reimagine what it's going to be, we have to do the same, because everything is changing," Ford said. Ford hopes to open the redeveloped train station in 3 to 4 years and make it a magnet for high-tech talent, according to a company statement. Part of the company's gamble is that, by moving its innovations divisions into Detroit's urban core, Ford can attract the technology-savvy millennials it needs. The company's main headquarters will remain in nearby suburban Dearborn. "We want the best startups, the smartest talent, the kind of thinkers, engineers, and problem solvers who see things differently, to come and partner with us here in Detroit," Ford said. The venerable American brand is facing the same challenge as other carmakers, which is basically an image problem, said Michigan State University marketing and communications professor Robert Colt. "I've never heard a student say, 'Well, I want to work for a car company.' They just don't say it," Colt told AFP. "If you want to attract young people, you build a Silicon Valley type of headquarters." Stripped by vandals and time of its past beauty and value, the building came to symbolize Detroit's long decline from manufacturing powerhouse to bankruptcy. Michigan Central Railroad started purchasing land around 1908 for the new train station, according to Historic Detroit.org. The depot opened in late 1913 and was designed by the same architects who created New York's Grand Central Terminal. With towering pillars, marble floors, chandeliers and high arching windows, the terminal's passenger waiting room was a sight to behold. Share this article. A Detroit architectural historian W. Hawkins Ferry wrote that in its heyday, the train station symbolized the gateway to the city of Detroit and reminded people of the Roman baths of Caracalla. The emergence of interstates and increased travel by car and plane led to fewer people taking trains. In 1985, the station handled only 82,408 passengers. That number tumbled to 64,097 a year later. Great Lakes World Trade Center bought the station and office tower in 1985, and developers plan to turn it and some adjacent real estate into offices, shopping plazas and parks that would attract development. The federal government withdrew a $3.25 million grant in 1987 because insufficient renovation progress was being made, and the station shut down the following year. After it closed, anything valuable was stolen or destroyed, and the building became a popular spot for squatters, vagrants and urban explorers. Businessman Manuel Matty Morin bought the building in the mid-1990s after a previous owner defaulted on a loan. Morin's interest in rail and trucking transport led to the purchase, a spokesman said at the time. But an anchor tenant could not be found, and renovations would be delayed. Many looked at the former grand structure as part of the blight spreading across parts of Detroit. Plans by the city to buy the station and turn it into a police headquarters fell through. In 2009, the city council passed a resolution seeking emergency demolition of the structure, but it didn't happen. Some renovation work was done shortly thereafter, including the replacement of broken windows in the roof to make it less of an eyesore. Ford announced last year that it was going to move its autonomous and electric vehicle business and strategy teams to Corktown. In addition to the train station, Ford owns several other neighborhood properties that will be renovated and rehabbed. The company already has started moving about 200 workers into a refurbished former factory a few blocks from the station. The automaker estimates the size of its campus at about 1.2 million square feet. The station and office tower is expected to anchor the automaker's research and development of self-driving vehicles. It also gives Ford a presence in Detroit, which continues to rebound after exiting bankruptcy in 2014. The train station project is a matter of survival for Ford, which has fallen behind its Detroit rivals GM and Fiat Chrysler (FCA) in developing self-driving cars. GM plans to mass-produce autonomous cars by 2019, and FCA has an expanding partnership with Google parent Alphabet's Waymo autonomous car division. But Ford won't have an autonomous car for consumers until 2021, a full 2 years after GM. Building a high-tech nerve center can help the company down the road, said industry analyst David Whiston of Morningstar. He sees promise in initiatives such as Ford's Silicon Valley Research Facility. In the past couple of years, they've done all sorts of things showing that they're making the right investments, Whiston told AFP. They just need the time. In some ways, Ford is actually ahead of many other car companies that realize they must evolve but have not figured out how, said London-based analyst Philippe Hauchois of Jefferies. To develop new mobility services and a new relationship with customers, they feel their traditional staff is not the right structure, Hauchois told AFP. Carmakers need more coders, scientists, and researchers. They also need young, urban dwellers who understand the needs of an increasingly urbanized customer base that will require more car sharing and delivery via autonomous fleets. The industry needs to balance being a manufacturer and service provider, Hauchois said. Autos as product and as an industry will probably change more in the next 10, 15 years than they have in the previous 50 or 60.